Welcome back to Boss Crew.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
So today we've been sitting here kind of going back and forth with different topics, and one thing that we kind of feel today, I guess, was a big one because there was too many. Well, I felt it, and I just kind of said it to everybody, so they had to agree. Um, Between technology, how it's changing, and then the big battle between Samsung, or I guess iOS versus Android. So, who wants to start?
Sorry, I was a little distracted there.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good.
I mean, listen, at this point, the people, we have to agree. It's just about the brand now.
Mhm.
Because we all and don't worry, Taiwo, I'm not gonna use the same example though. Listen, I don't want to get banned, but listen, at the end, get to make your video calls. We send iMessage on iOS or Google Message on Android. We use mostly the same apps because
Mhm.
they third parties. Um, and we shared certain apps. Like I was saying, I have iTunes Music on my phone, and I have a Samsung, and you have access to Gmail or certain Google
Right.
apps on your iOS. So at the end of this point, it's no longer about really about tech anymore. It's more of a branding thing, and it's good for the companies when you take Samsung and iPhone. It's good for them because it generates revenue. Keeping that challenge, that competition between the consumers that are fighting about who has the better phone. It's good for business, you know. But sometimes it gets to a point where it makes no sense. People really. I saw a TikTok, by the way. I saw a TikToks of someone saying that they cannot date someone else if if that person doesn't have an iPhone.
It's the,
Said that about
it's,
What?
Samsung. I've said that about Samsung, but I
I think
wasn't
it.
serious.
I think it's
I
about a
get it.
compatibility. I
I
think that's
get
what
it.
it is.
I get
They just
it.
And
they realize they're not compatible.
but as a Samsung
Okay.
user, we'll never say that to an iPhone user.
No.
We'll welcome
Yeah,
anyone, everybody.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got. Hey,
It's true.
it is a iPhone thing, and that you know what that's not new because I've heard people say that in the past that it's like a compatibility. Like if you, it was at the height of the iPhone. People were just like, listen, if you don't have an iPhone, we can't connect. It's like I can't send
Yeah,
you a message.
yeah.
So if I can't send you a message, we can't be together. That means we can't talk to each
We
other.
can communicate.
I, well, actually, did you know that Samsung and iOS, or Samsung and I guess iPhones, they did kind of collaborate a little bit, that you can now
Mhm.
use emojis
Yeah.
and you can get the little check marks when
Hmm.
your
Yeah,
message is
you can.
sent and received. And that
Yeah,
wasn't always a thing. That was news
No.
to me. I just
yeah.
found out like a month ago, and I was like, "What? We're doing this
Same,
now?"
same, same. I had
Yeah.
my sister was texting me something like I showed you. I have an iPhone, but there's no line on it, so I'm only using on the Wi-Fi. But she sent me something, and it came on my phone, on my Samsung, and then she was like, and I was like, oh, I can open it. I believe she sent me her location, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I can't open it. She was like, why? I was like, because I'm not using the iPhone. I got the
Mhm.
message, but I
Mhm.
can't do anything with it. But we're able to text and all of that.
Mhm.
It's nowadays they both companies work to facilitate a lot of things and to make sure that at this day and age it got to the point where it made no sense that where technology is evolving to to a point like this, and then you're not able to text me because you're using iMessage. It made
Right.
no sense.
Yeah.
So they had to do something about that. But other than that, I think at this point, the real tech that's evolving that people needs to focus on, it's AI, for example. Let's forget about I have an iPhone and you have a Samsung. Doesn't matter anymore. Because at the end, guess what? You use ChatGPT, I have ChatGPT.
Yep.
Now it's all about how good are you with ChatGPT? Do you know how to use your prompts? Because now I know a lot of people don't even know about prompts on ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the real deal. It's about how those data analysts are out there, especially the remote workers, automating stuff with AI. I
Yeah.
hate them. I love them, but I hate them. That guy woke up and posted a video of himself where the first 2 hours of his job is he's at the gym because he got those tasks automated. They're getting taken care of. He's at the gym. He
Mm-hmm.
hit the gym, came back, took a shower, and by the time 11 o'clock hit, he was there on his desk, ready to hit the day. Makes no
Mm-hmm.
sense. I have to be at the office at 8. Can't
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything about putting someone in a rental car. I have to be there and process you.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the thing that you can do with AI. Do you know how to do that? Because it's not about having an iPhone or having a Samsung. You have to go on Google, or like Tao was talking behind the scene. You guys don't have those videos or sticks. That was a great conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
do you know how to use fun fact is you can use ChatGPT to find out how to use ChatGPT to be good at ChatGPT. But
Yes.
still, you people should be out there figuring out how to do those things.
Those
Because
things. Yeah.
believe it or not, the world, commercial, industrial, is evolving to a point where anything and everything you will have to know even a little bit of tech.
Mm-hmm.
Technician jobs. You're a tech guy, you work with your hands, good. Guess what? The new machines that are coming out are more and more intelligent.
Yeah.
So at the end, you either need some electrical knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and or so far now, and or some technical knowledge, some computer knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen technician job that ask for A plus. It
Mm-hmm.
happens. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And with the new technology, as new technologies are coming out, you just have to be ready. And as like we said before, like Bindi said before when she was making her point, you're either gonna go with it or get left behind.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just Christian, one of the things I was thinking about is as far as with like the iPhone and the Apple products, I think it becomes also um with Apple, I think the compatibility and because of the the products that they have, so many interlock with one another. And probably going back to its days of its the first iPod with the spin wheel on it.
Mhm.
Now that I think, if I could remember correctly, when people was trying to download music onto it, you had to have. I think the only way was you had to have probably the old Macs, the boxes that they had. I know people were finding a way to get naps. Oh, they was that's what you was doing. So kind of dating myself. I think what was it called? Nap. the with all the music on the Napster, I think it was. It was like a pirated streaming service with
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
any new song that you wanted, you didn't have to go buy it. You could find it on Napster. Somebody already had uploaded it, and people were burning CDs with it. And then once you burned the CD, you could download that music onto your iPod. So that's what it was doing, and that's what Apple
Napster,
made.
yeah, Napster, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it made to be able to. The iPod was able to talk to their Mac, the books. It was the colorful Mac computers that they had out at the time. And that was something they kind of could continue with, because as that continued to grow and those two networks grew, then they came in with their iPhone, which was like, okay, these all three could connect as well too, and it became, such a thing that people always say Apple doesn't play nice with other computers or anything, because it was that whole connection that they created. And people were just really loving it. People were just loving that whole connection of, okay, so I gotta get this, I gotta get this. Oh, and it all connects right here. Then it was like, oh, this talks to this talks to that. And I think
Mhm.
people, the iPhone users, myself one, I love the idea that my all my devices connected. They all connected with each other.
Yeah.
Sort of made it a little easier for me at the time. And someone who wasn't heavy into tech, I loved it. And I guess that's when I became more of a tech person, because I knew how to connect all my devices and I knew how
Mhm.
they all talk to each other and work with each other. And when I would find myself on a HP with Microsoft, I literally would feel lost. I would feel lost because I wasn't using Microsoft every
Used to
day
it.
no
Yeah.
more. And so it was like my mind had to learn how to switch between the two, because I was using
Mhm.
Microsoft at work, and I remember my supervisor, he said the same thing to me. He was like, nah, he said, I have all Apple products. He said, I'm not familiar with Microsoft.
So
So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's what, when we start thinking about some of the tech pieces out here, I think that's one of the things that kind of keep a lot of people with the iPhone. It's like they like that. And now, as you're absolutely right. Now with AI, well, it's on everything. It's on everything. And the
Mhm.
connection with the third party apps, that they're making all of that relevant. And the both of the devices now learning how to connect and talk with each other, that's going to be essential right now too, because like I said, you see some of these spy movies, they're pulling out the Google phone,
Mhm.
or they pulling out the Android. And I was, like I said to you guys before, I said, I don't ever see them pull out the iPhone. I said, I wonder why does it not popping up in the spy movie. I need to write somebody and find out why we don't got any
Yeah,
iPhones
right?
on the spy movies.
Yeah. Too expensive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
you're stuck with uh limited tools. So you have
yeah,
to use their tools or you can't use it.
yeah.
It's
No,
their
you're
tools or
right.
nothing.
You're
So
right. No,
that's
absolutely.
the only thing with
You're right.
iOS. But other
Mhm.
than that, you're right. It's user friendly. That's one thing about iPhone, and I think that's what makes them that's what puts them here today as a giant in the field in the market is the fact that anybody can use it. Anyone can
Yeah,
use it.
Mhm.
yeah,
Even most people, older people that you see nowadays, are easier. It's easier for them to use an iPhone than to use a Samsung.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
for sure.
Even though the iPhone has a lot of features, cool features that most people don't know about, but the basic usage is easy to do. You know,
Yeah.
you open
Mhm.
your phone, everything is right there. Um,
Mhm.
you text people. Most of the time, since most people have an iPhone, you don't even have to worry about, oh, do
Mhm.
you use WhatsApp? Do you use this? Do you have a Samsung? Can I send you a picture? You just text someone. It's
But
iMessage. It's
I
easy.
gotta say, man, I love that Android screen, man. That screen is like, I love it, man. That screen, man. I see when I see people pull out their Android and I see that screen, I'm like envious, man. I'm like, man. I want a screen like that, man. It's just beautiful, man.
Listen, I give you a ride to mobile tomorrow. What do you say?
Okay. We welcome you in Samsung.
I don't know, man.
Android welcomes you.
My kids are like, nah, this is the iPhone. We're
Yeah.
Apple
Well,
product
and that's the
house.
thing. At that age especially, I think it's big. So I think if you were able to have an iPhone, then that's it. That's what you want forever. Because
Yeah,
that's what you started with, that's what you're
that's
ending
what you
with, that's
used
what you
to.
like.
Hmm.
Exactly. And if you had Samsung, then that's it. That's what you wanted, that's what you're used to, that's what you're keeping to.
Let me
I
tell you.
I had both. So I was like, but then once I went to Samsung,
Let me date back a little bit more here now.
let me
So
date
when
back.
when the next Nextel phones was out because they had
Mhm.
that remote feature. I know I had one. A lot of my friends we had it. We were constantly chirping each other. Chirp, 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 chirp. Wasn't even a ring. It was a walkie-talkie feature.
Yep,
And
yep.
I remember I had it, but my wife she had the BlackBerry. Right.
Okay.
She had
Yep.
the
All
BlackBerry
right.
with the
Yep.
screen with
The
the
BBM people.
she loved that. She loved that. And
Mhm.
I remember when they was just going out and I kept telling her, I said, you're gonna have to part with this. We tried to keep it going as long as possible. Um, I remember, I think this is when Obama became president because he had one and he said the Secret Service told him he had to get rid of it. And my wife kept saying, see, the president has one. I said, yeah, babe, but they're
They're
not
gonna
making them no
last. Yeah.
more.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
And I know they loved them in corporate a lot because they were very reliable. Um, they weren't losing a lot of information. I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
that the punch pads on them it just kind of felt like you was at a computer typing all the time. And I know a lot of corporate people had them, and when those things went out,
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
a lot of
True.
people had a hard time. They had a lot of hard time with that. But yeah, yes. It's like I think you had said it before, Christian, which is that whole likability. It's like, you know, what do you like? And you got, these two entities, just like there are people that like this one for this one, these
Mhm.
like this one for that one, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all about branding.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So keep in mind, people,
Yeah. It's
stop
all the same.
hating on us Android users. Please.
The hate be so real.
You guys get all the movie time, man. Apple doesn't get no movie time, man. You guys are like stars out there, man.
Do you know how much it'll probably cost them to to use an iPhone in a movie?
I can't imagine.
Too much. Too
I can't
much.
imagine. Yeah,
Oh man, love
they
it.
could plug those Androids up to anything and run whole
Yes.
systems off of them. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
said, oh
Yeah.
Listen,
man, I think I
they'll
gotta
have
get
a
an
teenage
Android.
they have a summer teenager movie and you can see them using an iPhone. But listen, you're not gonna ask the next Tom Cruise movie to do anything on iPhone. Listen.
Exactly.
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope.
Exactly.
No. But so keep that in mind, guys. It's just a device. It's just branding, and it's just a phone. It's just a phone. Can it get you from point A to point B? Great. All right. That's all that matters. So, well, that's all we got time for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching Boss Crew. Until next time, bye.
Hey, peace.